cous, cous, cous. Can you tell me what's the use? Use cous, 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 cous. It's what someone will choose. Choose. Pour it out, pour it out. Water must be poured in. Let it sit, let it sit. That's to make it thicker thin. Cous, 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 cous. It looks a bit like sand. Cous, 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 cous. Alone it's just a little bland. Squash and a lemon juice and 2 packs of halloumi, stock and onions, a half a head of broccoli. Add some peppers, add some spice, and only if you want to. Now you're really cooking and you'll make a lovely couscous. Couscous, couscous, they eat it where it's hot. Libya, Algeria, Morocco, quite a lot. Couscous, couscous, can you tell me what's the use? Use couscous, couscous. I know it's what you'll choose.
Thank you, Russell. Well, that was a great song to start off this recipe today, folks. And welcome again, and thank you for all your lovely little posts and messages. We're really happy to be doing this, and I hope this is another recipe you're going to enjoy. So this is what couscous, that Russell's just been singing about, can look like. And it's got 3 colours in it, this one, so it's very pretty. It's a bit like that pasta you can get with different colours as well, isn't it? But it's made from this thing, which is a kind of flour, a bit like wheat flour. It's very yellow, as you can see. But I thought we might start today, Russ, with a bit of a geography lesson to show where couscous came from, since you were singing about it. So I'm going to pour the couscous on the table like this. And look what we've just done here. Me and Russell have just created a map. Now, I'm sure you can see where Italy is there.
I'll try not to sneeze, otherwise it might be wiped off the map.
And that's where Sicily is. And that is where, guess where that is, folks? We'll just see if you can think where that might be. All the way over there, up north. And what have we got here, Russell? So you were singing about all these.
Yeah, where are those places?
Well, I'm going to guess that Morocco is here, more or less. And then Algeria is sort of about here. Is that about right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It might be skewed a little bit left.
Bit that way.
Yeah,
and then
Morocco's right across from Spain. Right?
Oh, right. That's Morocco.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this is Algeria then. Then that's got to be Libya.
Yeah.
Opposite down below Italy. That's right. And then this must be Egypt then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing about this couscous is that it first was grown in Morocco, and then it made its way all the way round to here, to Israel, to Lebanon, and it's eaten a lot in the Middle East now. So that's the way food sometimes travels, doesn't it? So that was a little bit of geography and also a little bit of history, and now we're going to do some cooking. Here is that couscous that I talked about, and what we're going to do with this is put it in a pan with a little oil, just a little bit like this. Any old oil would do, vegetable oil or whatever. And that oil's quite hot, and it's in there. I'm going to put it on the heat over here again. We're going to just toast the couscous just a little bit so it begins to smell a little bit toasty. And then what we're going to do is add to it a mixture of just hot water and a stock cube. It's just a vegetable stock cube in there. You don't have to have a vegetable stock cube. You could just use water, and then you might need a little bit more salt. So we'll just wait for this to heat up a bit. Could just do it over here. Look at this. We're going to just do it on here so you can see this. Listen to that lovely noise. So we've mixed that in, and now it's a bit like you're making a soup. You're just going to cook that, or you're making pasta. It's actually very like pasta or rice. It's used in the same way in those countries we talked about earlier. We're going to prepare these vegetables. I think these are 3 of the best possible vegetables that you can put in a couscous. And also we've got a little bit of onion. So we're just going to prepare these in the way that we would for roasting. So Charlotte's been telling me I've got to show you how to make sure you can do this safely. So I'm going to do this myself to start with. Cut that in half. Mums might have to do that. Look, there's the seeds. we're going to plant these seeds and grow some more squashes as well. But meanwhile, 1 second, spoon. Scoot these seeds out. Lots of them. This would make, each one of these seeds might make maybe 10, 15 pumpkins. Imagine that. So that's going to make hundreds of pumpkins. Right. So we have to be quite careful doing this. I'm going to just cut it off. And then I think your mum's going to have to do this. I think there could be some fingers missing. And we don't want to go to hospital at the moment, do we? Definitely not. So, cut it like this. Cut all these skin bits off. You could do it actually with a potato peeler. Maybe that's easier. I should have thought about that, shouldn't I? Not much of a chef, me, am I? See if I can do it like this. I prefer a knife, but you could do it like this. The main thing is to do it safely. I hope Charlotte's going to be happy about this. She's going to show you how to make flapjacks next week and granola. That'll be fun. Now we've got the broccoli, and what I do is I cut off the top bits like this. But all this is perfectly good to eat, so I'm just going to take off the outer bits, peel it a bit. Like that. And then cut it into slices like cucumber. Like that, or courgette. Get that bit off as well. All this is delicious. I actually like eating it just raw like that. It's so yummy. So I think you should try it raw, see what you think. And then I've cut that lot up there like that, and I'm just going to break this into what I'm calling very tiny trees. So you see the stalky bits as well. You can see why I might think of it as a tree. It looks a bit like a tree, doesn't it? And then do the same with this lot. There we are. I'm wondering how the roast vegetables are doing. So this actually is doing two types of cooking of vegetables. One's roasting in the oven now, and one is going to be boiling like this. And just put that lot in there. Hardly got any water. It's just enough. I'm going to put this big lid on top of it like that. The couscous that we did earlier. It's all steaming and delicious. What I'm going to do, because I absolutely love lemon, and I like the zest as well as the juice of a lemon, so I'm going to just zest some zest into here. It'll make it all zingy and fresh tasting. The grating like that. And I'm going to mix that zest in. I can smell it already. Now, the halloumi, and everybody loves halloumi. And just some nice thickish slices, about the thickness of your fingertip. One of you small ones. And there we are, and that's ready to be fried in a minute. So that's the broccoli done. It's still got just a bit of crunch. Just a bit. It's what the Italians call al dente. And what I've got here as well is that delicious mint, which is something that they use a lot in Northern Africa. Remember the map that we saw earlier? And also in the Middle East as well. So I'm going to chop this quite fine. This is a fun thing to do, so if you've got a big knife at home, try this. So you hold it really like a fist, like that, put your hand on top, a kind of rocking movement like this. And when you get really good at it, you'll start looking like a chef on television, won't you, like this? There we are, and it's smelling lovely too. So that's the mint done. Now we are going to fry the halloumi because I think the vegetables are almost ready. So we'll do that. We've got all beautifully sliced here. You have to be a bit careful that you don't splash the oil on yourself. When you get the recipe, you'll see it says that to be a bit careful. So I'm going to take each piece and put it in here. If you've got a small frying pan, do maybe 4 or 5 at a time rather than all of them, because you don't want to crowd them too much. But I've got a big frying pan here. There we are. So I'm just going to have a look and see if they're ready yet. A good way of doing this, if you haven't got tongs or a proper thing, is to use just 2 forks and very gently. It's not quite right that yet, is it? So we're going to leave it for a little bit longer till it's got a bit more colour on it. Your spatula, and then sometimes it sticks a little bit. Getting a nice colour on that, look. As I said in the recipe, you could fry pieces of chicken instead of halloumi for this dish. Look at that, delicious. Oops, a bit awkward doing it like this. Definitely a grown-up job, I think. Hope you're ready for this one. Good. So I'm just going to see if these roast vegetables are there yet. I think they are. Yep. You can see, don't they look delicious? Look at that. So what I'm going to do is, because I know some of you might not eat all these vegetables, so I'm going to move those like that there, and I'm going to put the couscous in the middle, like that, all on one plate like that. I think that's probably enough for us tonight, so I'll keep that for another day. I've got another dish to show you maybe another time. And then I'm going to put the broccoli at the end there, and that looks quite nice, doesn't it, anyway? And it means you can pick away at the vegetables and the couscous and the other things. And now for the final moment. The halloumi. Should we put it just on top of here, like this? It's quite hot, so be careful. Doesn't that look delicious? Maybe do it with a fork or something. And then a little bit of lemon juice squeezed over the top, like that, for extra zing. And finally, some chopped mint. Doesn't that look lovely? We'll have to try it now though. So right, we're now ready for the moment of truth, because Russell's going to try it. I'm going to just help you to a little bit of this halloumi. Some people call this squeaky cheese. This is your bit. I'm going to do just a little taster, because
very nice.
we might not.
Is this a bit of Algeria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is definitely a bit of Bristol.
Ah,
There's a clue in that word, by the way. I just said that. Well, you need a fork, don't you? There we go.
Very nice.
And I'm going to have some too. It's a lovely, it's a bit like, as you can see, it's just like rice really. Think of it. Delicious. Well, good. I will see you all next time. Thanks a lot.
Bye.